Hello, hello. I'm Cosmic Jack. If you're an OG around here, we're spilling some tea when the ice is swirling. Wanted to come on and make a video really about the astrology for the next month. Because I feel like it is, well, I know astrologically it is absolutely bananas, but I have chills as I say that. But I just very intuitively feel and have confirmed and had these conversations with my other intuitive friends that the next month is life shifting, it is life altering. And so I just wanted to really riff on a lot of the astrology and a lot of the energy and really the importance and the potency of this next month. And again, just full chills. So much karma is clearing and completing and closing out as we really enter a brand new frequency. We are completely shifting to a new frequency, a new way of being on this planet. My guides are calling it the cosmic shift. And, that really starts with this new moon that we have on January 18th at 28 degrees of Capricorn. And what is so interesting is that this is the fourth new moon that we've had in a row at the 28th degree. And the 28th degree is like a starting degree. It is a power degree. It is about balance. It is about harmony. It is about independence. It is about sovereignty. It is about manifestation. It is really a powerhouse number. A lot of powerful people are born on the 28th of the month, right? It is a powerful, Bill Gates. I'm Bill Gates is just the one that's top of mind. Julia Roberts, my girl. There's a lot of power in that number, 28, because it's a 2, it's an 8, and it's a 1, and it's also a 0. And so there's so much kind of completion, so much initiation, so much beginning. It is a very potent and powerful initiation and manifestation degree. So that we're having the fourth new moon here on the 18th, and this 20th degree is going to come up several times in this video. So make sure you note down really if you have any placements within your own chart around 25 to 29 degrees of any sign, really, because we're going through there's going to be 6 in a row, so we're hitting them all. And what is so powerful about this new moon is it is the start of the eclipse window. And everything just is so faded from here on out. And we have Neptune completing its cycle in Pisces this month. We have Saturn completing its cycle in Pisces next month. Saturn is the ruler of this new moon in Capricorn. And then we have all of these planets in Capricorn shifting into Aquarius. And as they enter Aquarius, so the end of January, as they all enter, through the end of January, it starts with Venus. Venus will enter Aquarius on January 17th. And they all just one by one go into Aquarius, where they are met by an initiation of Pluto, who is hanging out at 3 degrees of Aquarius. And so we have really seen AI explode with Pluto and Aquarius, which we knew, right? And it's about technology. Aquarius is a frequency, it is a vibration. And really the karma of Aquarius energy is it is light years ahead of everyone else. I'm an Aquarius rising, I'm an Aquarius north node. People be on shit I've been on forever, you know what I mean? And they're just discovering things, and I'm I've been doing this for 17 years, where have you been? You know what I mean? That just is the nature of Aquarius. It's we're so future forward. We have the 30,000 foot view. We can see what's coming far beyond the collective. And I'm not gonna say like problem, but I'm gonna use the word tycoon because that's like a Kabbalah word where it's like the thing that Aquariuses are here to, like, their soul correct is really like feeling unseen and being unheard. Because when you're an Aquarius and you live on the penthouse, like I used to, right? Like the penthouse of your building, and every day I look out and I see what people on the ground floor cannot see, right? So every day I look out and I have, a view from the top floor, and people on the bottom, I try and tell people down at the bottom what's going on up there, and they don't want to listen, right? When it's like I can see them, but they can't see me, right? And so it's really kind of acknowledging, like, this is what I always say about Aquarius, so like, it's really acknowledging and owning your freak, right? It's acknowledging what sets you apart and what makes you different, right? I really feel like I only can be seen by like people who also have Aquarius energy. Like I rarely attract in people who do not have some sort of like Uranus signature, Aquarius signature, 11th house placements, because those are the energies of Aquarius, and these are the people that are like awake and aware on this planet, because like that's really like what we came here to do. And so if you even just like think about how progressed technology has gotten in the last 3 years that Pluto has been in Aquarius, like we're getting like this, like we're really going to start seeing like technology explode when the North Node goes into Aquarius. So really that will, it's already happening, but like through the progression of the North Node in Aquarius, which will start end of July for a year and a half, like everything is going to be focused on technology. It's going to be like a technology arms race. I was watching a YouTube video about it this morning. Stephen Bartlett was like interviewing some like AI guy, and they were basically talking about how it's like a technology arms race, because whoever is going to own this technology is really going to own the new economy moving forward. And we're really going to see that. Like we're going to see that play out collectively, because like it's always the macro and the micro. But on the micro level, you're going to see it with like the level of embodiment of the people around you, because you're going to see people manifesting at light speed, and you're going to see people who are like bumbling and fumbling and struggling, right? Because they haven't been putting in the work to like upgrade their technology, their frequency. And I think we're going to really see a shift in people understanding that their body is a technology. Like I have channeled so much about the body in my like time here, and I know so much about the body. Confirmation. But like, I have channeled so much about how the body is the perfect technology. Like the body is more brilliant than AI. Like our bodies are a perfect system. And so if there's distortion in your field, it is because there is distortion internally. And so like the new frequency, the new abundance, the new code is really going to be coherence in your energy field. And so we're going to really start to see people like manifesting like light speed. And it's all a result of like the codes and the frequency in which you embody, because you have to think about your body as an electrical body. And then what conducts that electricity is your emotions. And your nervous system really is like have you ever seen a photo of what the nervous system looks like? It's like the craziest thing I've ever seen. It's literally like, we're electric sockets, right? Like it's crazy. And then your emotions are held within the water within your body. And it's like, if you never let yourself process and feel your emotions, then all you're doing is conducting what you don't want into your reality, and you're keeping your vibration low, right? Whereas if you allow yourself to really move through your emotions, like the river, right? Because like stagnant water spoils, right? But a flowing river is crystal freaking clear, right? And so we're really gonna need to get really good at processing our emotions in a fast way, and really feeling our way through our future, because it really is going to be a feeling first future. And you're really just gonna trust your body's sovereignty to be like, I feel like and like that is your truth. And so, and it's really just gonna be like you and your body like need to be besties moving forward. And so if you want support with this, like definitely like jump into my world, jump into my one-on-ones. Like this is the shit that I literally have fucking mastered over the last 9 years. But it's like understanding how your love embodiment, like meaning how deep in your body you are, like how powerful that is to be a really, really freaking good manifester. Because I don't think anyone really has an awareness of how out of body that they are. I even thought that I was like more grounded than I'd ever been. And then I like moved out of the penthouse, moved out of the city, and like moved into a house, moved out into like, you know, nature, and like spent time in the mountains. And like, I'm like, oh my God, I had no idea how ungrounded I was, right? And now I feel so much different. I feel so much more grounded. And I was like, right, because it was all preparation for this frequency shift, for this cosmic shift that we're entering literally in the matter of days. And so this is really interesting energy, because like all of these personal planets, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, were all just reset with the sun to then just go get activated by Pluto. And then so like literally this journey of all of these inner planets are then meeting with all of these outer planets that are either have already shift or about to shift. And so it's like everything is going to feel different in the future, and nothing will be the same. No part of your life can really remain the same unless it's like super solid and secure. I think people are going to be really rocked this year if you haven't been doing the work. Hi, Marvel. Confirmation cat. And she's so funny. She loves to look out the window. And so we're really kicking off this crazy portal, with this new moon in Capricorn. And so some dates I want you to like think about is what has been the themes of Saturn and Pisces since March 2023. Because with this new moon in Capricorn, Saturn is getting really highly emphasized. Saturn in Pisces is really a master creator. It is about being super sovereign in your body, in your embodiment, having like a strong skeleton, right? Saturn is your bones, it is your skin, it is your teeth, it is your knees, it is everything that holds everything together and allows you to move forward, right? Your knees allow you to move forward in life. And so you need that structure to keep everything integrated and together. And so Saturn in Pisces is about that internal embodiment, that internal structure, that inner authority, that inner responsibility, that inner accountability that you have with yourself to be a cosmic channel. Because Pisces is a super powerful like they're crazy manifestors, right? And so, but in order to be a powerful manifester, they have to be clear in their body, because here's the thing, if you're holding a lot of density, if you're holding a lot of fear, a lot of lack, a lot of scarcity, a lot of judgment, a lot of guilt, a lot of shame, your vibration is low. Your messages that you get are going to be distorted because you hold so much energetic weight in your lower chakras. Your upper chakras are never blocked, right? And so it's about clearing out your lower chakras of your body so that you can be a cosmic channel. Like, think like High Priestess, right? She's like in her body, and her crown is wide open to channel the codes to then go execute here on Earth. So Saturn in Pisces was really teaching us to clear out our bodies to become a really powerful manifester. And then Saturn helps you assert those boundaries and those standards of what is required of you to hold like an integrous, coherent field, right? Like you can't be just like leaking your energy to everyone and everything and be like a super sovereign individual, right? Like you need to be clear in your channel. And so what have been those themes? What have been those karmic lessons? Because that is what's coming to a closing completion in the next month. Literally Saturn, we're in the last month of Saturn and Pisces. So we're clearing out that karma. Pisces is super karmic. Saturn is super karmic. The North Node is in Pisces. North Node is super karmic. And Neptune is also closing out its journey. Confirmation in Pisces. Confirmation in the next 10 days. It will change signs into Aries on January 26th. And so on a grander scale, what have been the themes that you have been moving through with Neptune and Pisces since February 2012? Neptune was briefly in Pisces in 2011 from April to August, but it has been basically in Pisces since. It also moved into Aries last year, March 30th through October. But like, what have been those bigger overarching themes of Neptune and Pisces? Like for me, I can like literally pinpoint exactly when I stopped knowing my value and worth, like 2012, right? Like when I stopped like being in my body, 2012, like, so all of these things, right? Because in Pisces' second house, like all of these things are coming to a close and coming to a clear. And I have like the craziest stories about how that karma is now clearing. But if you want to dive into like your personal cycles, like definitely book a session, because we can not only dive into all of these patterns that you're closing up, but also the new one starting, because when a cycle ends, obviously a new one begins. And so if you want to set yourself up for success and really have understanding at like the larger energies at play, like the one-on-one sessions are like where the gold is at. Like I have so much fun with those sessions, and it is always so mind-blowing what comes through and like the cycles that people have been going through and that are closing. Like I'm never not blown away by like the cycles and the patterns that people tell me like that were started and ended. Like it's probably my favorite part about being an astrologer is like understanding these cycles. And so not only that, but in the next month too, we have this year one starting, right? Which we all know is the fire horse. It's like exploded, it's everywhere. And it's connected to 2017. 2017 was the last year one. So 2026, 2017, also a year one. And what's really profound about the timing of this is we have an eclipse on February 17th at 28 degrees of Aquarius. Marvel. She's a star. She just like needs to be in this video. So what is so interesting about this eclipse? It is the exact opposite energy of the new moon eclipse we had August 21st, 2017. This was the Great American Eclipse. It was at 28 degrees of Leo. This was an activation and an awakening for so many people on the planet. I was hanging out with a girlfriend yesterday who like knows astrology, but like doesn't like obviously is not an astrologer. And she said yesterday, and I'm like, this is how you know like when people are in tune, when they're in tune with astrology. She was like, I swear my life changed like after that eclipse in 2017. And I was like, you're actually very, very fucking accurate, because, and apparently Robert Edward Grant said the same thing, like his life changed after that. I've heard, you know, through talking to other people who are like spiritual and tapped in, like their life changed after that. Like I can tell you, I was like living in New York at the time, like I was like party girl of the century, like living my fucking best life, like bopping all over Manhattan, bopping all over the world, like literally party in the USA, like, but also like abroad. Like my Venus in Sagittarius was like full blown party girl. I was wilding out, right? And I remember being on a rooftop in Manhattan with my motherfucking goggles on, like looking at the fucking eclipse. Like they had like eclipse parties, right? Because it was that time when like, it was literally called like the Great American Eclipse. We had that blackout, like, you know, we lost, like it turned into like dark in the middle of the day, right? And I was like ill for 3 days after that. And I remember being like, oh no, what did I do? What did I do? And the reason that this is important, because first of all, I always tell people, like, whatever you do not look at an eclipse. You'll never see me look at an eclipse again. but nothing in my life was the same after that. Nothing in my life was the same. And that is the energy that is coming with this eclipse in February. Like, me and my friend, who's an astrologer, literally had a 2.5-hour meeting about this eclipse. It's that potent and powerful. And it is the exact opposite point. It is completing this eclipse journey from that great American eclipse in 2017. That was at 28 Leo. Again, we're having 6 new moons at the 20th degree. Where do you think this eclipse is at? It is at the 28th degree of Aquarius, square Uranus, who is the ruler of Aquarius. So we're going to have a Aquarius party with Uranus square this eclipse. Saturn and Neptune will then conjunct in Aries, and Venus is also with the North Node in Pisces. So this is like quite literally like the great reset. This is like the cosmic shift. Like, everything will change from this point, and we will then be in this like frequency forward reality. And it really is the start of this year of the fire horse. So like, we are going to be off to the motherfucking races. So it's like, you are gonna like Christina the Channel said this within her, I heard her say this on Instagram. She's like, if you do not drop your past, it's not going to slow you down, you will break, right? And like, that's the energy. It's like, if you are not consciously releasing things right now, like, I cannot tell you how much I've had to release in the last like 2 days. Like, literally so much has even happened in the last like 2 days of my life that I'm like, I cannot believe this. Holy hell. And it's like, everything that is holding you back is going to surface in the next month. And I have like full chills as I say that. And so it's like, because it's like, the past cannot come with you to your new future. It's like when you move house, and it's like, you don't take like, if like, imagine if you moved into a bigger house and you didn't like cleanse and purge anything from your old house, and you brought everything from your old house like into your brand new like $5 million home. Like, I'm gonna throw, like, there are some things that are not gonna make the cut in the new home, right? You have to purge, and you have to cleanse, and you have to purify. The South Node is still in Virgo. So we are coming to an opposition of this nodal pattern of Aquarius and Leo, because in 2017, the North Node was in Leo. This year, the North Node will move into Aquarius. So it's its opposite pole. Numerologically, we live through cycles of 9, and the nodes are also in cycles of 9. So every 9 years, you will have your nodal opposition or your nodal return. So for me, I'm in my, it will start my nodal return. Like, I'm here to be Aquarius. I have a North Node in Aquarius, right? And so, like, I know the last 9 years was such an intense freaking initiation. I had a little cry about it yesterday, and my friend and I were like, really had an intense conversation about it yesterday, because we were like, it's been a really hard 9 years. Like, it has been a really, really hard 9 years. And it has been like, I'm like, but it's all been in preparation for the bigness that is landing. And like, things are already like moving and landing and happening. And it was all preparation. Like, Kabbalah teaches you to prepare your vessel. Like, I had to fucking break my vessel. Like, I had to go from like party girl, wild and out, and I went on this like I've been on this whole freaking journey. Like, people would never believe, 99.9% of people would not have survived what I've gone through in the last 9 years. And like, here I am on the other side, fucking better than ever, glowing, vibrant, embodied, like hot as ever, happy as ever. And I'm like, I can fucking like be proud of that, because now I know like how fucking strong and powerful I am, and what a leader I will be moving forward, because literally like nothing will ever like break me or get me down, because like, no, like, I have already been through the hell. Like, there's literally like nothing you could do that could like break me down anymore. Like, because I have already done it all. And what's really powerful when that happens is you no longer hold fear. And that doesn't mean like fear doesn't come up, but it's just like, it doesn't bother you, because you just recognize it as a feeling that will pass. And like, when I always say, like, I am so powerful. I have manifested everything I've ever feared. Everything I've ever held fear on, I have manifested. And what happens when it happens is it lessens its charge because you realize it happens and it's not a big deal. And even this week, like so many manifestations have come through for me this week. And like, I'm like, it's so interesting because I'm like, all of these manifestations, they're all coming in and I'm like living in this reality. And I'm like, oh my God, like so many of these things, like I have felt like this happening. And it feels normal. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, like, no, like this is normal for me. Like this is actually normal now, right? What was not normal was living in survival and living in a fear state. Like there's actually nothing normal about that. And it's like, right, like that was the whole point of going through that transition, was to show my body how normal it is to like live from this higher state and place of being of like abundance and support and divine love and living from like a heart-centered space instead of a fear-centered space. And that is really where we're shifting into. So I had to go on a 9-year journey of clearing fear from my body. I don't hold fear anymore. And that's actually a really powerful place to be. And I actually wrote about this on Substack, that you should go check out, about this new moon in Capricorn, because really, I heard this from someone else. So this is like not my quote, and I'm like blanking on her name right now. But she said, when responsibility and accountability enter, fear exits. And I was like, yeah, like, like now I trust myself to handle anything. So there's nothing for me to fucking fear anymore, because it's like I've already gone through it, right? And that is what is actually powerful about like manifesting the things that you fear, is nothing ever will have to hold power over you anymore. Confirmation. And so when you can just hold the power and the responsibility and the accountability for the totality of the experience, right? Like fear is on the same pole as love, right? Anger is on the same pole as power. Like they exist, like we don't live in the linear 3D reality. We live in a 5D complete circle reality. So that's why when we go through expansion, I always explain this. It's like the balloon gets blown up from in all ways. It's not just like, we don't just blow a balloon like up, like that's how everyone wants it to be. But we live in a dualistic reality. Like expansion, you have to expand in all ways, which means you have to expand through the contrast. But that's why so many people, like their depth and their bandwidth is like this fucking big, because they can't hold space for the fucking contrast. And it's like, yeah, no, like I fucking dug my roots fucking deep. Like my roots are fucking deep. So like now, like watch for the reverberation on the other side, right? And it's like, yeah, because like energetically I have earned that, right? And so it's like that's like what sometimes things get worse before they get better. It's not because the universe is testing you. It's literally just how energy works. It's like the expansion happens in all ways. So you have to be able to hold both ends of the contrast, right? And so too, like it's when you can just continuously focus and double down on the positive, right? Like I learned this because our brains naturally will like if this is the future and this is the past, like our brains will naturally try and figure things out from like the past lens. And if the past wasn't always like positive, or our brains naturally are like problem solving. And so they're trying to figure out through a context that they know, which is usually like control or fear or what happened in the past. But too, like there's always just as much like positive, like if you're alive on the planet, like something positive has happened to you. And it's like, why does our brain go to like worst case scenario, right? And it's because our egos try to control things. And when you can just consciously always just be present in your body, you can always just recalculate to a better presenting future and double down on the positive, right? And it's like, we fear the stress of like what could happen in the future, but in the present moment, it's all okay. That's very like Eckhart Tolle, right? Like he said, all that exists is the present moment, right? And it's like, why are we then bringing stress into our present moment? Because we don't trust the future, right? We don't trust the future can be better than our past. And it's like, the future is going to be 1,000,000 times better than the past. Why don't I let just God fucking decide what is best for me? Like God knows what I want. And if God wants to deliver me that or something greater, I know he's going to, right? And it's like we are so limited by our egoic minds, by our linear minds, by our thinking minds. Like they're helpful to like process information, but they're not really the place to make decisions from or like try and figure things out, right? Like God, let God do the heavy lifting. Like you just have to be who you were sent here to be and be aligned with your birth chart, right? And so when you can, and this is like, again, like what we're learning with Pisces and Virgo, this access is like learning to trust in the uncertainty and in the unknown more than anything that is known. I am like on a trip right now, and I like had no plans for this. It was presented to me on a silver platter, and so I was like, oh my God, yeah, like absolutely, like my full body like lit up. I was so excited. I've been so taken care of, and I'm like, great, I can't wait to see what God has in store for me here, right? Because it's like I was like picked up in a forklift and then dropped here for a reason, and I trust that it's for a reason. And so many of the reasons have already unfolded, but it's like brand new energy, and I'm already like clearing and colliding with so many new things. But like I wouldn't have like envisioned this in my like linear egoic mind. And like, but it's like a blessing, right? So it's like, why would I try to control and plan things out? And, every time when I talk to like people, they're always like, kind of like, what are your plans? And I'm like, I don't have a plan. Like, I don't. I'm trusting the guidance because I know everything that I planned for, all of 25 didn't go according to my egoic mind. So I'm like, we still have 7 months of the North Node in Pisces. The plan is no plan. The plan is God's plan. And I am listening and I am open and I trust, right? And I'm like, people are like, okay, so like what? And I'm like, no, I don't have a plan. Like, I'm like, and I'm like, I just trust. Like I have lived my life that way of like, when God tells me to pivot, I pivot. When God tells me to move, I move. And that's really like when you can just trust in that connection and you trust in your feeling and you trust what gets dropped in, like so much more magic can happen when you allow God to work miracles in your life. And that is really like we're aligning to such a new frequency on this planet that's going to feel so much better. But during the reckoning, it doesn't always feel good. So if I can just tell you anything, like the reckoning is so worth it. It is so worth it. And I promise you will be dropped in a place that will blow your mind away, blow your brain into bits. And you just have to trust. And if you want to get clear on it, definitely book a session. You can also jump into my one-on-one containers. But it's really like, I also just am like selfishly curious about people's patterns. I'm like, I want to hear from you. Tell me what's going on. Like message me on Instagram because I just am an astrologer. I'm always so blown away by the cycles and the patterns that people are clearing. And it really is a profound time. And I like throw that word around a lot, but like profound, karmic, destiny, fate, like divine intervention, divine pivots, really unfolding the next month. And really anchoring in this new frequency, this new way of being. And like you will look back on your life in like 9 years time and be like, yep, February 2026 was when things changed. In the same way I look back at August 2017 and I'm like, yep, that was when my life changed. Like nothing was ever the same from that point. It was such an activation. It was such an awakening. The astrology doesn't let up the entire year. So just enjoy the ride. It's really a really powerful, just profound time to be alive. I am like really looking forward to seeing how it all plays out. It's an exciting time. So whenever I say, again, like if your brain goes into worst case scenario, like why does it go into worst case scenario? I think it's a really exciting time to be alive. Like, I think this is why we came to Earth for like what is starting to happen now. So get excited, like get excited for the magic to unfold. Get excited for the possibility. Get excited for the future because it is going to be somewhere that your linear brain cannot even comprehend how it's going to come about. And if you can just trust, which again, trust is an internal state, learn to trust yourself, learn to trust your connection with God, learn, like literally develop the inner capacity to trust, and you will be blown away by what comes through and what happens. So again, I cannot freaking wait. The future is magical. The future is limitless. The potentials, the limit, like Mean Girls, the limit does not exist. Like the limit does not exist. Like that's literally what it is. So, I mean, get ready, buckle up, baby. And definitely I'll post the links, ways to work with me below, because take advantage of this energy. You will not regret it. Bye, guys.